Like Garnacho definitely out of here though. Do you know what I mean? Which is a good thing because we can get 100% profit from him. We need to rebuild this team. I'd get rid of him. I'd get rid of Hojlund. I'd get rid of Bruno as well. People saying he's £100 million player, bro.
Bro,
This is another game that he's broken. He's been the player that's given the ball away the most amount of times. He was diabolical today, yeah. And bro, this is what he does, bro.
I just don't get me started on Bruno, man. I completely lost my head. I was in a pub with some friends, and I completely lost. Like like I had a United shirt, and guy next to me is like, "Yeah, tough season." Like it was nice. The chatting next to me is like, "Yeah, tough season." I think, thank God for Bruno for you. I think, where would you be with that? And I say, Bruno is the first name I would sell, my brother, because you don't support United like I do. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, and watch the game carefully because now we're watching the game together. Just wait
Mm.
for me. And very early in the game, I said, you see, now Bruno is starting to lose his head, and it's like a domino. It's gone. He's not getting back into it. So now, from now on, every ball Bruno will get, he will absolutely sky it. And this is exactly what happened. And there was an instance exactly that led to the goal. Got the
Bro,
ball,
he lost the
skied
ball,
it
yeah. Like, bro, he lost
twice
the
in
ball
that
with
action.
very little pressure as well, Bruno, to be fair.
He's
He
he's
shouldn't
a
do
he's a disaster. I need my Muslim brothers from Saudi to do us a favor. I
that,
can't
bro.
lie.
I just don't see Jim and them man selling the club, man. But bro,
No,
like
buying Bruno.
Bruno,
I mean,
oh right, bro, like Bruno, fam, like bruv. I know he lost the ball, yeah, and there was loads to do after that. But bro, like you see when people talk about chances created, big chances created, bro. If there was a stat for the amount of times he lost the ball, yeah, that resulted in us conceding an attack, yeah, then we would see some real stats. Because this
right.
guy is he's a net negative, he's a liability.
He's a
There's a
liability.
reason why when people say that he's been our best player, yeah, it is coincided with our worst seasons.
100%. I've
It's
been
not a
saying it.
coincidence.
I've been saying it. You look at the data from a step back, and the correlation is as strong as can be. Every
Mm,
year he gains in importance, the worse we get.
yeah.
We removed, like people say, yeah, but at the time Bruno had better players. Yeah, well, what you're not taking into consideration is the fact that we removed many of the better players because you wanted to keep Bruno and you wanted upgrades on those players. People
Yeah.
wanted upgrades on Matic. They wanted upgrades on Pogba. They wanted upgrades on Martial and Donny van der Beek and Mata. All of the players that people didn't like, that we sacked Jose Mourinho with 82 points with that squad.
Yeah.
So we weren't happy back then, but it was better than the shit we're seeing now. So don't tell me Bruno had better players then. Those better players left because the disgrace of the fan base we have wanted other players for Bruno. Bruno is a net negative. He's an absolute disgrace, Rants, and I cannot wait for the day I see the back of him. I saw
Mm,
it early in the game. I said he lost his head. He's not coming back into this game. And the player that needs to be tamed and controlled on a minute-to-minute basis every fucking game, I am sick to death of it. He does
mm,
my fucking head in. I'm sick and tired of Bruno. I'm not blaming him for the game, but
mm.
and for the loss. We are a shit team with a shit manager, dead team, dead squad. He is a net negative. If you remove Bruno and you bring two average players, we improve overnight. I'm not
Yeah,
having it.
absolutely.
I'm not having it. Bring back Amrabat and Sabitzer, the players that people thought would. They're not world beaters, those two. Let's face
No.
it. We improve overnight with those two instead of Bruno. Kobe Mainu and Ugarte next to Casemiro, and we improve again. Just and people say club legend. Have you lost your head? Club legend. We've seen the likes of Scholes and Keane and Bex, and you trying to chat to me about Bruno.
How can you even put him in the same conversation with these players, bro? Do you know what I mean? When they're talking about
How
club
could
legend, it's a
you?
disgrace, bro. But this is what it is. You know what it is with this Man United fans? I don't know. His face fits in it. They've tried to make Bruno into this legend, into this like cult figure, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? There's nothing about it from a footballing point of view. Like
Nothing.
they've gaslit themselves into believing that he's any more, yeah, than a selfish player, yeah, that plays for himself and just spams the ball into the areas, bro. Like the guy's got main character syndrome, bro, and that's all it
100%.
is. And we got too many players like that. In order to build this team, yeah, we need team players. We
100.
need we
Team
need we need
sport.
a lot more players like Ahmad, like Xerxes, these selfless players, yeah, that want to play for their teammates, and less players like Garnacho and Bruno that play for
Bruno.
themselves, bro.
Absolute mugs.
Play for themselves, bro. Mount and Luke Shaw have missed the majority of this season. How the fuck they started this final? I understand that this manager likes Mason Mount, but that's another asterisk besides his name. Any manager that likes Mason Mount as a footballer can never have my respect. He can never have my respect. Mason Mount is he's a catastrophe, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he scored a couple goals the other day, yeah. But he owes us goals, bruv. He's been in arrears for 2 years.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe you'll disagree with me on this, but I would pick Mount over Bruno if both are fit.
Oh, so would I. But in the same, but in a midfield three. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
He's
Mount
less
registered
disruptive.
just
He's not
8
great.
passes and failed all his tackles inside 71 minutes, bro.
That's
This
embarrassing.
guy's an absolute disgrace, bro.
That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Absolute disgrace. This is a player that we paid 60 million pounds for and he's wearing the number 7 at Manchester United, bro.
With
They
1
need
year
to
left on his
cancel his
contract.
contract.
Like 100%.
Terminate that.
Yeah. But and you know what? Going back to the Bruno thing, the fans judge the players on how they wish they were. So people they assess Bruno on how they wish Bruno was, but they don't judge him on how he actually is. And this is the thing. They see like there's the idea and there's the player, and they make their opinions on the idea. Bruno's an absolute disgrace. Let's get that. I'm not having it.
But this is what I mean, bro.
Maguire,
89th minute, Kobe Mino. 89th minute. The same Kobe Mino. I swear Kobe Mino scored the goal, yeah, to equalize against Leon, didn't he? And then Maguire scored the winner, right? Or was it the other way around?
I think Maguire scored the winner.
Yeah, so yeah, and Kobe scored the equalizer, the one we cut in. Brother,
Yeah.
Kobe came on in the 89th minute when we're chasing a game. 89th minute. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Maguire, another one. I never ever, and I've said that many times on streams, I'm yet to praise Maguire and not immediately regret it. Never happened in my life. Every time I give that guy some credit, the game after he does an absolute shocking game. Fed up. Absolutely fed up.
Bro.
Zersky, if Zersky was fit enough to play, he should have brought him on earlier.
But that's it. He should have come in at half time if he was fit enough.
Earlier. And the thing is, now but Zersky was not playing Zersky when Zersky was fit.
He wasn't.
I'm not having it. The manager's an absolute disgrace.
He benched him 2 games in a row fit for Rasmus Hojlund and Garnacho. That little partnership, Beavis and Butthead, bro. That's what he was doing, bro.
Partnership.
And my opinions on Ineos, have they changed? No. I'll judge Ineos based on what they do or they don't do. Now they have to sack him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't sack him, they don't have something to say about it. Because what I don't like about a lot of these Man United fans is I wanted the Qataris. I wanted the Qataris. A lot of these Man United fans online saying Ineos out, Glazers out, were the same guys saying that they didn't want the Qataris because they didn't want brown people to own Man United. Exactly, and these guys were talking about human rights and all this bollocks, yeah. So then they wanted Jim, and now Jim's here, and they're seeing the fact that he's sacking people and all these things. All of a sudden now they're having a change of heart. But
yeah, and you know what the irony is? Radcliffe is probably more conservative than the Qataris, if anything, if you look at it.
but this is what I'm trying to say, bro. Now they're seeing all the redundancies and all these things and the cutbacks. These guys, when he was saying, he was gonna put Manchester United back in Manchester and all this bollocks, yeah, they were buying into that Brexit rubbish. They bought into it.
He was speaking that language, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And then now he's here and he's cutting and he's getting rid of all of these same people. Now they want to double back. They want to double back and say, actually, now we want Jim out. Nah, you wanted him here. 100%. You always wanted him here.
And the Glazers have played an absolute blinder. They keep the club, but they don't get the criticism.
They stay in the background.
Bro, that's a lovely move from them. That's a chess move.
Bro, but this is this is why I said, like, from a business point of view, the Glazers bringing in Ineos was perfect. It's a win-win because you still get to collect your money. You don't have to make any of the decisions that you didn't want to make in the first place. They didn't buy Man United because they were fans of football and they wanted to make Man United better. It was just something to add to their portfolio.
Yeah, they inherited it from their dads anyway.
Yeah, that's it. It was just something to add to the portfolios. It was never ever a situation where like we're buying Man United because we want United to continue to be successful. It was always about what United can do for us. Yeah, it was always about that.
Exactly.
They took United to milk it.
They didn't buy with their money as well, so that's they played a blinder there.
They played an absolute blinder. Do you know what I mean? So with that in mind, like, as much as I don't like the Glazers, yeah, and Ineos came in, you got to play the hands you're dealt in life. I didn't want Ineos, but now Ineos are here. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna judge them fairly. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna judge them in a way through a lens that I didn't want them here in the first place. I'm not about to do that. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with Ruben Amorim. I wanted De Zerbi. That was my first choice. But when Amorim came in, I said, cool, man's gonna judge Ruben Amorim on what Ruben Amorim wants. I'm not gonna judge him on the fact I wanted De Zerbi because we haven't got him.
Yeah, and that's not how life works. You don't judge on someone because you wanted someone else. You judge what they do.
Well, exactly that. And when I look at what Jim and these guys have done, yeah, they've done certain questionable things, but on the whole, I'm not too upset about some of the stuff they've done. I'm not upset about the fact that they were cutting people's jobs because we were shelling out way too much money. I'm not upset about that. Am I upset that they cancelled the fucking Christmas party? No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing about cutting jobs is it's hard and it's difficult, or you don't want that to happen. But it's just.
But it's life, bro. Like, I'm a businessman.
We were creating jobs that were like the body language thing. That needs to be like the guy. We had a body language expert on almost.
Listen, Adam, if you're trying to streamline any business, yeah, and make any business sustainable, the first thing you do, yeah, is cut the unnecessary outgoings and the overheads. Like, this is everyone does that, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? If anyone in the chat loses their job right now, yeah, the first thing they're doing is all the direct debits that are luxuries and not necessities. You're getting rid of all of them.
Of course, if I'm trying to save money, bro, I'm not cutting on rent.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm cutting on the other stuff.
But that's it. You have to cut on all the other stuff. So I'm not upset about Ineos doing all those things. Am I upset in them sacking Dan Ashworth? Not really, bro. Because if you believe that you've made a mistake,
you rectify it quick.
I respect you for rectifying it quick. Because at the end of the day, that's what good ruthless business people do. If you realize that you've made a mistake, you rectify it quickly.